So I'm making lunch, or rather warming it up, and I need to make dressing. So I decided that this was a perfect opportunity to share a couple of things that I'm really passionate about. So my husband always gives me grief about all of the things that I recycle. And since we started the lockdown, I've been even more passionate and more creative about doing this because we didn't have access to so many things. When we came into lockdown, it was actually the very first day that we were in this city. So we didn't only not know where to get things, we couldn't get in to get the things. So I did a video on how to make a homemade mask. And so we've been recycling and repurposing a lot of things. And I'm eventually going to do a video on that. At first I was a little embarrassed, but I thought, this isn't actually ghetto, it's actually creative and it's resourceful, okay? So right now when I went to go get a jar to make my dressing, I looked at my collection of glasses here. I'm not going to show you that side because that's where our supplements are. But you can see that I have a selection of all kinds of jars. This is my favorite to take my drink when I go out in the street, okay? And I saved 3 of these because they're so adorable. So I put flowers in them. I put 3 of them on the table or wherever, a little grouping, and I put flowers in them because they're just so cute. All right, and then down here, sometimes I use one of these to put my lemon slices. I'll slice a lemon and I'll put them in the fridge and then put a lid on them, and then whenever I need a lemon slice, I just go in there. But today, oh, and here's my lids. This is also repurposed. This is, we were using this for dessert actually for a little while. It's plastic. This is where the pate comes. So now I have 2 of them. Yummy pate, by the way. Anyway, so I put my lids in here, and this is how I keep them contained in my shelf. Now, at home, I would probably use like a abandoned plastic box or something. You know, you can repurpose almost anything, guys. Okay, so anyway, back to my other passion, which is homemade almost anything, but in particular dressing. Okay, so here's my little naked salad. These are, Jerry just laughed about that naked salad. These are bagged greens, and so I rinsed them off. Even though they say they're edible and washed, please give them a rinse. You just never know. And then there's cucumbers, and then these yummy little heirloom tomatoes. All right, so there's the naked salad. So how do you make dressing? Dressing is actually extremely forgiving, guys. You can almost put anything in there, okay? What you need is a fat, which is an oil. My favorite is olive oil. And then you need an acid, okay? In this case, I have, I'm gonna use balsamic. I have a white vinegar made out of cava wine. And then of course, apple cider vinegar. Okay, those are my favorites, as well as lemon juice or lime juice, okay? In this case, I'm gonna go ahead and make it out of olive oil and balsamic, and I'm gonna make it a creamy one just to give you guys some more inspiration. So what I did was I put olive oil, and usually it's about 2 parts oil and 1 part vinegar. Okay, so I don't know how much I have in there. I always just eyeball it. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more. All right, you can measure this too. Oh, and by the way, I have measuring cups now, so I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. Yesterday we went to the mall and we found all kinds of yummy things. Okay, so I'm gonna go with, how about if I just measure? That looks like about 1/3 of a cup. All right, so I'm gonna measure it just for your benefit. How's that for eyeballing, huh? It's almost exactly 1/3 of a cup. So just for your benefit, I'm gonna go ahead and make it 1/3. So obviously this is gonna be a little bit tricky because there's no 1/2 third. Would have been easier if I would have gone with 1/2 cup, but I don't want to make that much dressing. I prefer to make it fresh, like every few days. So, all right, so there's 1/3 of a cup. All right, and now this is my balsamic. So it should be roughly 1/2 of that container or 1/2 of that measuring cup, okay? And it's not quite measuring up. So guess what? I have another balsamic over here. Hopefully mixing them won't be a problem. Okay, so there you go. This is 1/2 third. So when we eyeball it, it looks, okay, well, so it's curved down here, but it's roughly there, okay? So now I'm gonna get a spoon and I'm going to put, oh gosh, these are brand new. This is whole mustard. I love this stuff. And then I haven't quite found all the organic stuff yet, so we just make do. This is Hellmann's made in Spain. I like creamy. Sometimes it's just, you can also just do plain vinegar and oil and salt and pepper. That's absolutely okay. All right, so I'm gonna put roughly a teaspoon or 1/2 teaspoon of the mustard. And about 1/2 tablespoon of the mayo. Now what we're doing, now mayo is another fat, okay? That's why I didn't add more olive oil. Okay, about a tablespoon. This is cayenne pepper. I like my dressing with a little heat. And this is what it looks like before they grind it up, guys. They're like little tiny chilies, you see? So I'm just gonna kind of break that. Actually, I'm gonna get 2 spoons to do it because I don't want this on my hands. Cayenne is not very friendly. Okay, so I just kind of crushed it up a little because it's dry. All right, there it goes. And then here's another one of those recycled jars. Isn't this cute? This one also had pate. I'm a big pate fan, guys. All right, and so I love this jar. So I told my joy mate that it's actually going home with us to Thailand. So this is Maldon salt. Normally, the fancy people who cook with this or use it as a kind of like a garnish, okay, because it's so pretty. This is regular pepper, so I'm gonna grind some in there. I don't have the patience for this, so usually I use my my mechanical grinder, and then I just put it in another recycled bottle. All right, so, and then my joy mate had some garlic here for me. Gonna chop that up really little, kind of mince it up. Or if you have a garlic press, that is a perfect use for it. This is a garlic press. I love garlic presses, okay? Because they just really make short work of all of this. And it grinds it up really, really small. Unless, of course, you like pieces of garlic, which, you know, are really good for you. It's a wonderful way to detox, purify, kills bacteria, fungus, germs, etc. Very, very good. So you just press it in there and it extrudes through there. It's all nice and little. And then I like to use all of it, okay? What we found here in Spain is that you can find many, many beautiful things, and it seems like it's pretty inexpensive, but we have spent a lot of money on groceries, which is okay because we eat really, really good. And now we're spoiled. We don't want to go to restaurants. What can I say? All right, so now, if I were a chef, I would like incorporate this and whisk it, but I'm not. So I just do this. needs a little more acid. So lucky for me, I have lots of lemons. You should always taste your food. I don't always, but because it's the balsamic vinegar, it's a lot sweeter and milder. It's more mellow flavor. So it needs a little more tang for my taste. So I got half a lemon, and I'm gonna go ahead and put all of that in there. This is another one of my favorite things. I found these little espresso cups, and they just happen to have a lot of little tiny spoons here. So these are my tasting spoons. Much better. And I need a saltier salt. There we go. So another half a teaspoon of salt. The Maldon is a very fine flavored salt. Very delicate. That was pink Himalayan. So you see, even though I gave you measurements, the ingredients are always different. You know, my tomatoes will be different from your tomatoes. So, you know, they may need more or less salt. Perfect. So now this will go on my naked salad, and then we put it in the fridge, and tomorrow, tonight, we'll have it again. You see how wonderful and easy that is? And then I put it in my little recycled glass. Bye.